This thing looks amazing.
We rolled in with this thing at 3 a.m. this morning after driving for 20 hours straight.
Does not fit.
Yeah, it does not fit on the trailer at all. We have to have the ramps just hanging out the back, holding up the rear axle, because he brought out his forklift and picked up the back so we could slide the ramps in.
Of course he had
the forklift so fast, I thought he was just gonna go straight through the truck.
Oh,
Like, he
yeah.
came out
He just
full speed, like.
It was a jousting session.
The guy that we bought it from drove us around. He hit no less than 4 trees driving us through the woods to test drive it.
And went straight through someone's yard with it. Like, straight through the tree line into someone's yard.
Like 2 trees into the woods, he hit this rear quarter and busted the taillight out.
He hit the front end of the car, like,
on a rock. He hit
on a rock in Alaska the first minute he had it. I was like, get me out of this car.
It was a frightening test drive. It's the mullet of trucks. It has 35-inch front tires and 37-inch rear tires.
Let's see what she's got. All right, I haven't heard her purr yet.
Starts right up every single time. But when you use the rear steer, it like turns the headlights off. It takes so much power.
The rear steer here is run with like a garage door opener switch, and it's really weird. Sometimes when you push left, it goes right instead for like a second, which is not what you want. But what you do want That's exactly what you want. Try the hill climb.
The Tesla gets more traction. Whoa!
The brakes aren't great. Oh wait.
I don't think the front was
The front
trying.
hubs probably aren't locked. Yeah, that's why. Okay. It was in 4-wheel drive, not 6-wheel drive. That makes more sense. Also, there's a random ratchet strap underneath the front end, and I have no idea what it's doing.
Uh-oh, that's probably hiding a fun mystery.
Oh, it's holding the body on. It's okay. No, literally.
Oh.
As far as I can tell, that's holding the body on. It's got whoop scissors, so that's what counts.
That is totally what counts. We got the tires aired down. We got like 4 inches of fresh snow. I think it's time to take out the Ford Ranger for its first day of snow wheeling.
Are you guys gonna fit through that?
No. Did you notice how clean the interior is?
Yeah, I was impressed.
It's nice. The heater works.
Well, there goes the rest of that taillight.
This is by far the coolest thing that we've just bought. Normally we buy really silly things and make them cool. This one's already cool. Some bumper upgrades, some lockers, a few little cosmetic things, and we're good to go. This is awesome.
Oh man, that thing's awesome. I didn't think it was gonna be this fun. We are gonna take this thing some places.
Oh yeah.
I also like how this is Ethan's definition of not fully sending it. Just driving out through these trees, busting the taillight,
hitting the
tire.
tabletop, hitting the sand pit.
Oh man, can't wait for a full send.
Oh dude, at Mafia, this is gonna go off. Every off-roading session always comes down to this, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
Textbook perfect.
That was easy.
This thing is such a unicorn. How did we get this lucky finding this before someone else?
I think the only way we got this lucky is that, first of all, it's just bizarre and like, as cool as it is, you know, people are probably afraid of it, you know, being worse, you know?
Yeah.
When Will first showed up after that phone conversation, I was like, we're not getting this truck. There's no way we're getting this truck, but
it worked out.
Here she is in all her glory. We gotta name this thing.
Now we're gonna take a look at how all of this crazy nonsense works. Climb under there, have a look at all the drive lines and shenanigans that makes it have 6-wheel drive and rear steer. And we're gonna talk about the sponsor for this video, Ariat. We've had Ariat clothing for a couple months now. All of the stuff is super comfortable. Been wearing these boots every day. They got composite toes, so we can run my feet over with these tires. Yeah, we've all been wearing Ariat gear. We're all super happy with it. Super comfortable, super waterproof, super durable.
I practically just live in my overalls and my boots now. Like, this is just my winter vibe.
Yeah, no, literally, every time he comes up, Edwin's wearing that. If you're in need of any work clothing, work boots, or just really any kind of clothes, go get yourself some Ariat gear, use our link in the description, and get 10% off. And now that we're in here, let's take a look at this crazy rear steer system. This is like actually like a garage door opener or like an electric hoist button to control it. It's kind of janky, but it works. And here there's a little arrow to tell you when your tires are pointing straight. Piece of aluminum with a Sharpie mark on it. And when the arrow's pointing at that, you're going forward. Except it doesn't quite line up. It's not very accurate. And then back here, in the back seat, or where there would be a back seat, is this big electric motor running a hydraulic pump. So electric hydraulic pump, and then hydraulic lines go back to the ram underneath that steers the rear wheels. Not only is this thing 6-wheel drive and 6-wheel steer, it's also 6-wheel independent suspension. Obviously you can see here we've got double A-arms on both sides, coil springs, shocks, and axles here that are actually U-joints instead of CV joints. From what I understand, from the guy that we bought this from told me, he didn't build it, but apparently these setups here are both front steer axles off of some sort of military thing. They've got these little differentials here, you know, pretty well tucked up out of the way, and then they're obviously a pass-through differential, so, you know, they have an input on the front and an output on the back, which allows for 6-wheel drive, or, you know, if we could find another one of these setups, we could put another axle back here and have an 8x8 Ranger, because clearly more tires is better. Under here you can see these two pivot points for the steering. One of them spun around opposite the other one, so the steering linkages face each other, which means that they go opposite directions to steer the tires the same way. So there's a giant pivot bolt bearing whatever thing right here in the middle, and this big old piece of, I think it's 1/2-inch plate with all 4 tie rods bolted to this one big plate. And then the hydraulic ram over here just pushes on that plate and pivots it. One side goes left and one side goes right, or vice versa, and that makes them steer in the same direction because they're reversed. So it's a kind of a crazy setup, but it works for sure. Also, you know, for like a really old Ford Ranger, this interior is absolutely minty. I mean, aside from the zip-tied airbag cover, because, you know, it wasn't an accident. What the frick are you doing? We're getting back to the Ranger, and it is thoroughly buried in snow, which is perfect because now we get to see how it does in some actually deep snow. 6 tires should do well, except for the open diffs. That's going to be a problem, but you know, all problems could be solved with a welder. Where is it? There's a Ranger under here somewhere. Oh look, there's 4 tires. Well, that's annoying. Aha! Turns out it starts a little better when you have the fuel pump plugged in. This is the sending unit right here, so the pump's right there. So when we were shoveling it off, we just knocked this plug off. We're definitely getting this thing stuck. For sure. 5 sure. Look at all this snow. I can't even walk in this stuff. More of a can we do a lap than a time. We're gonna time it anyway. Probably be the slowest one we've ever done, because this thing would be unstoppable if it had diff locks. I know I've said that a lot, but it's the truth. 3, 2, 1. Sticky, heavy snot snow. Also, this thing's cooling system is not up to the task. I expected this lap to be difficult. I didn't quite think it was going to be this bad. Like, I'm literally at the bottom of the hill. But this is also probably some of the worst because this is where all the water collects, so we're just in a puddle. One more truck length. But now I got myself a nice run packed down. This thing does do a great job of packing snow. I am like a sad little bath kitten right now. I am so wet. We almost made it. You know, and with much more struggle, I suppose we could, but it's irrelevant. So, we got the Taco, which does have 2 welded diffs, so all 4 tires actually spin. And also it's on the flat on top of the hill.
This is the light. Also, I don't know if this happened from Ethan just jamming everything around in this car, but like all the switches just like jiggle and wiggle around. Like I don't know if that's like OEM Ford or...
Has been exhausting every step of the way. You know, Will and I drove for 20 hours straight to pick it up, and then today it kind of was, you know, a bit of a disaster, but I mean that was intentional, obviously. If we didn't want to get stuck, we wouldn't have driven around the rally track in 3 feet of snow. Yeah, no, this truck is awesome. I love it. It needs a few things, obviously. Step 1, lockers or welded diffs, obviously. No, step 1, get rid of all the ugly metalwork and fix what we broke today, which is just 1 tab for the rear steer ram. Lockers.
I quite like them. They're kind of like a porch.
Yeah, I mean, they're functionally quite handy.
Cup of coffee up here.
Let us know what you think we should do with it, because we're open to suggestions, and, you know, expect to see more 6x6 Ranger shenanigans soon. Ow! This is a spare diff that truck came with, and, I have no idea what it's out of. If anyone knows, let me know, because I want to know if we can get lockers for it. This is what it looks like, obviously, from all the sides. It's a really weird diff, because these are the outputs. These are the inputs and or outputs, so like it's a throughput diff.